kids, the way we came out to start the game. Obviously, we had a tough game Thursday night on the road, physical game, and they were off. They had a bye, so I was concerned about our energy and stamina, being able to hang in there. But I thought our kids did a great job there. And second half, we got a little loose with the ball, turned it over a little too much. Gave up some offensive boards. So Coach Nicky said it was because I was too positive at halftime. And I told her, well, good, we're safe then, because that's like a total eclipse. It only happens about every 10 years or so. So it won't happen again, I guess. But now, again, great effort, and, still a lot of things we can clean up and learn from. But, glad we're learning from a win. So it's going to be good to be able to give them a day off and catch our breath.
Speaking of learning from a win, obviously Syracuse had cut the lead down to single digits. In previous games, this team has struggled to respond, but you rebuilt the lead. How important do you think was it for the team's confidence to do that today?
Yeah, I'd rather not have gone through it, but if you have to go through it, I'm glad we pulled out on the other side. But this team, like I said, we're still learning, and we're running out of time though. But this was a big game, obviously. They were technically ahead of us in the standings, and for the double bye and all that. This doesn't guarantee you anything. You still have 2 games left and have to go out and earn those. And as we saw today in the conference, anything can happen. Anybody can beat anybody. And so we're going to have to make sure we stay focused here. But, there's a lot on the line. And, you're coming off a couple of tough road losses. We had 3 straight road games, plus a bye in there early. So we hadn't played at home in 17 days. And so, I'm glad we're finally able to get back in here. And like I said, hopefully we can get a little momentum going. But appreciate our fans. Again, as always, they're a great home court advantage for us.
Wes, your team had 16 assists today. You had 13 the last 2 games combined. How much of a point of emphasis was moving the ball and, playing as an entire team rather than just one?
Yeah, that's what I told them at halftime. Again, I shouldn't have, I guess, but we had 5 assists Thursday night. We had 9 at halftime. Like I said, I'm a little disappointed that we ended up with that many turnovers, but we did share the ball much better. Penetrate kick, swung it, made the extra pass. And definitely was something we've been trying to emphasize and get back to doing, because we have had moments where we've done it. So we just got to be more consistent with it. But yeah, it's a good start. And again, I think we've got unselfish kids. They don't mind sharing it. It's just sometimes you get a little bit too wired up and have blinders on and get out of control. And we just got to make sure we see the whole floor and make that extra pass.
Coach, speaking of focus, in the last 5 minutes of the game with all the stoppages going on, what do you tell your players in those timeouts just to keep them locked in?
Yeah. Again, we had lapses. I told our staff when we got downstairs after the game, when we clip this, I just want to do slippage. Times where we lost focus, times, where we just relaxed. You just can't do it. It's these games, most of them are going to come down to the wire, and you can't afford to give away a bucket or a possession. And so you just try to get their focus there, and maybe whatever you're trying to accomplish. We had this side bounce with only 2 seconds left to get it across half court, and things like that. You just try to make sure everybody knows what we're doing, and it's tougher than you think. Okay, you would think you're in a huddle, you show it on the board. Okay, we're going to go out there and it's going to be easy, right? Not always. So again. We're still a work in progress in that area, but just try to make sure you cover as many bases as you can.
The team had some problems rebounding on Thursday, and tonight you come out and win the rebounding battle against one of the better offensive rebounding teams in the league. What went into the turnaround?
There again, first half was unbelievable, y'all. Again, when I look at this time of year, I'm looking at stats from just conference games. All right, they're number 1 in offensive rebounding, okay? At halftime, they had gone and got, I don't count dead balls, they had gone and got 1 offensive rebound at halftime. Unfortunately, they went and got 10 in the second half, which, that's where I should have stressed it a little more. Their coach does a great job of demanding rebounding. And I knew at halftime, she was probably making the paint peel off the wall down there when she saw one offensive rebound. And sure enough, you know, they came out and made it tough. And we gotta rip it. We gotta get all 5 players involved on defensive boards. But at the same time, at some point, you gotta rip the ball, grit your teeth, and have an attitude about it instead of sometimes being a little too soft.
Coach, following up on that a little bit, you had a bad rebounding night on Thursday, and then you had I don't want to say the ACC Rookie of the Year, but the probable ACC Rookie of the Year coming in. Was there anything you told your post specifically about her to kind of pair after a bad rebounding night, or anything specific about Zoje on?
I'm sorry,
Just anything you told your post. Sorry, that was a long question.
told our post?
About Zoje coming in, obviously probably the Rookie of the Year in the conference.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably older than me. You know, she played in Japan a couple of years, I think. I mean, she ain't no freshman, you know, age-wise, she's not a freshman, but she is, I guess, classification. She is unbelievable. And yes, she, you know, leads the conference in block shots. She's one of the top rebounders. You know, I mean, today, hard to stop her. You gotta try to keep the ball out of her hands best you can. That's why we switched and put Camille on her to try to deny her the ball. Cause once she gets it, there ain't no stopping us now, okay? I mean, she's tough, great player. And, you know, again, big challenge. Just gotta keep working and try to figure out a way. But yeah, she's tough.
Camille's had 3 20-point games in the last 4.
Who?
Camille, what's it like kind of seeing her rise to the challenge and step up?
Yeah, you know, again, we felt like, you know, they were playing zone a lot, but we still felt like we wanted to get the ball inside. And I thought she did a great job of, you know, they all did, trying to find gaps and that sort of thing. You know, we wanted our guards to get downhill and force the zone to have to shift, and then that's when we were able to get dishes and drop passes off to them. But yeah, I mean, Camille's an unbelievably talented player. I mean, whether it's scoring, you know, on the block, around the rim, whatever, or whether it's on the boards. And like I said, we ended up putting her on 44, try to slow her down a little bit. But I agree. She's, as far as I'm concerned, she's definitely the freshman of the year. Talking about, how do you say it?
Zoje?
Huh?
Zoje?
Bazooka? Yeah, don't quote that. Yeah,
Too late.
One more question.
I got you right here.
they're trying to get me out of here before I say something dumb again. Go ahead.
Too late.
Yeah.
Sam Jones, at the 3-minute mark, I think there was a shot clock violation. And it looked like, and I'm looking, I didn't see, but it looked like she said, "Give me the ball." And then the next 2 possessions, she took it, got layups. It kind of helped you kill it.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
But she was assertive, one way or the other. She
Yeah.
was assertive at the end.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the level of focus, the level of intensity you want?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm talking more about defensively and things like that, and handling the ball, taking care of the ball. Yeah, I mean, Z's a competitor, and we did, like I said, we felt like we wanted her and Zoe trying to get in the gaps of the zone. We felt like that was the best way for us to attack it, and thought her and Zoe did a pretty good job of doing that, getting deep in there and either get their own shot or like I said, drop off a pass to the post. But yeah, I mean, again, she wants the ball, no doubt about that. She's not gonna shy away from it, and you like having players like that, definitely.
Great.